guys, welcome to Better Bachelor. My name is Joker with a face for radio and a voice for print. Today we're going to talk about time. It's time to retire the word incel. I'm leaving it out of my vocabulary. I'm done using it as a descriptor for men that are not having any luck with women. I'm just going to call them, I don't know, in single. Like, we got to come up with a new word. Maybe you guys can put something down in the comments down below. This word is now, it's over. And the reason why is, like all things with the media, instead of trying to find a problem or a resolution to a problem that maybe young men are facing, instead of having a discussion about it, they've now turned it into a word that is synonymous with dangerous young men, men that are harming other people and are willing to end other people. And the truth is, again, yes, there is a very small percentage of men that use this word to describe themselves, and then they go out and do bad things. I can think of a lot of other things that people call themselves that also do bad things, but it doesn't mean that anybody that's called this wants to be associated with that anymore, with bad things anymore. So it's out of my vocabulary. I hope you guys can think of something. I'll read down through the comments and see if there's something that maybe I'll just start using it. And then if you guys start using it, let's hope it spreads. But at least it will disassociate from this word that the media is now poisoning, as they always do with all things. Before I get into it, very quickly, I just did a book review, The Menu, Life Without the Opposite Sex by Aaron Clary. Really good book. I enjoyed it very much. I have it on audio. I'm actually going to pick it up for my Kindle. But go check out my review. It's about 20 minutes or so. I did a pretty good in-depth, but if you're looking for something to add to the library that's kind of taking a lot of what I say in videos and putting it in book form, go check that out. And right now, great news: the race to the retreat from Jeremy's Razors and the Daily Wire. Right now, you can get the shaving kit for 40% off plus free shipping until the 18th. So we've got just about 5 days left on this. So this means you can get Jeremy's Razors shaving kit, support Daily Wire, and support me in the race for the retreat for less than $30. It's literally the same price as if you walked into a store, bought a brand of razors that hates you, bought a handle, bought 8 blades, bought shaving cream, bought an after balm, and bought a razor kit. It would be more expensive to walk into your local supermarket or your local, I don't know what you want to call it, Walmart or whatever, and buy the kit. It's actually cheaper to get it through them. And I'm telling you, I'm still on my first blade, and it's been almost a month, and I'm still on my first blade. I just make sure to dry it off real well. So, guys, you can just order the kit and then have them repeat your blades like every 4 months. That's 2 blades a month. I don't think you'll go through more than that. You can always change it, but it'd be a great way to support. And right now, it's literally 40% off. So let's get this done because I'm sure anybody else that's competing is going to be talking about this sale and pumping up their numbers as well. So we've got like 18 days? 17 days, 18 days left to go in the competition. We're still in first. Let's knock it out of the park. All right, so this is a story. I got to be careful with my words here on YouTube, but an Ohio incel faces life in prison in a plot to end 3,000 sorority girls. Now, I haven't not read through the story. I just saw this, and it linked to another story that I'm going to read after that, which is a documentary explores the twisted world of woman-hating incels. And I saw these 2 stories, and I'm like, that's it. Like, we've got to end the word. It's being associated and used all the time now for single men that are unhappy with maybe their dating, or maybe they feel slighted by women or angry at women. They do something horrible, and now that word is being painted across all men that are involuntarily single and not doing well. So we got to end it. That's all I'm saying right now. But I wanted to read this, and I figured it was as good a title as any. A self-described incel is facing life in prison after pleading guilty to plotting to end violently 3,000 sorority girls at an Ohio university. Trey Genko, 22, authored a sick manifesto in which he wrote he wanted to end women out of hatred, jealousy, and revenge, and referred to ending them as the great equalizer, according to court documents. He pleaded guilty to planning to take a weapon and put a little long-distance hole punches, a little pew-pew action into the unnamed university on Tuesday, federal court prosecutors announced. On the day he penned the manifesto, he searched online for sororities, and the unnamed university in Ohio prosecutor said, the Hillsborough native identifies as an incel or involuntary celibate and part of the sick online community of men who seek to commit violence in support of their belief that women unjustly deny them sexual or romantic attention to which they believe they are entitled. And see, this is, so they're calling young men that are using this word, and I've used it as well, for guys that are not having luck in the dating world or are involuntarily celibate, that they're not having any dating luck. They're not able to hook up with women. And they're now saying that word ties directly to a sick online community. And those men seek to hurt women and do bad things to women. And we know, yes, there are a few cases out there where guys will call themselves and then do something horrible. But last I checked, I can say I was in the military, and it doesn't mean I, as a military person, want to do something horrible, even though maybe our government and military do horrible things in other places. So much for the American government. But the whole thing is, again, that they're directly attaching this word to dangerous men, and we've got to stop that. So again, the word is out. It's retired as far as I'm concerned. Genco maintained profiles and posted hundreds of times on a popular incel website from July 2019 through mid-March 2020. Investigators discovered a note from him that said he planned to aim big and his planned ending with a goal of 3,000 girls or women. In the note, he referenced the same date as the 2014 guy, Elliot Rogers, a college outcast who ended and wounded 6 women, or ended 6 and wounded 13 in a revenge for rejection rampage outside of University of California, Santa Barbara sorority house. In 2019, the woman hater brought tactical gloves, a bulletproof vest, a hoodie bearing the word revenge, cargo pants, a Bowie knife, a skull face mask, 2 Glock 17 mags, a 9mm Glock 17, and a holster, officials said. He brought 2 Glock 17 magazines and a 9mm Glock 17 clip. Okay, so he didn't actually have a weapon on him? I'm betting he did, but it's not a clip there, gang. In December 2019, he attended Army basic training and was discharged, probably from being mentally ill. And I want to jump over to this one real quick. Again, this is from 2019, but it's a documentary explores the twisted world of women hating incels. And this was from the guy that this other gentleman in the other story referenced. But they talk about a disturbing new documentary explores the dark world of incels, an online community of male virgins who hate women and praise mass casualties. The term incel means involuntary celibate and refers to young males who have never had sex, some of whom want to strike out at the world because they've been rejected by girls. That much is true, yes. But again, as all tabloids, all news, all everything, and even people here on YouTube, myself included, that's why we make interesting titles and interesting headlines, is because we say, hey, we want you to read our material. So we do make things that are a little salacious, a little crazy, to try to get you guys to watch our videos. I do it all the time. So I'm not going against mainstream media for doing this, but what they're doing is they're tying it directly to young men that are having issues, that have a lot of anger, and then they're painting the whole community as this one thing. Instead of saying, where are these guys coming from? Why are they getting into these forums? Why are they having problems? Why are they going so dark? Why do they want to do these bad things? Instead of looking at that, they just paint them as, well, these are all bad guys, the end. Who cares about fixing young men's problems? Screw young men, who cares? They say the community gained worldwide attention when British-born student Elliot Rodger did all the awful things. BBC 3 documentary Inside the World, Secret World of Incels explores how the guy is hailed as a hero by many online who refer to him as St. Elliot. Now, I have not looked into this, but let's be honest. I know a lot of guys that are single and not doing well with the ladies that would call themselves, involuntarily single. And they certainly wouldn't praise anything like this. They would say it's horrible. But I've done stories on here where there's like, oh, blowback against so-and-so for saying this. And you look at the blowback and it's 3 comments on Twitter. And they write an entire story about that. I have a feeling that in these, communities like this, maybe they found a couple of dozen or 100 guys or maybe even a couple hundred guys that were like, oh, I do the same thing. Okay. But last I checked, the internet's also worldwide. So out of 7 or 8 billion people, half of them being men, out of 4 billion people, you found a couple hundred that maybe say this guy's a great guy. And now we're going to paint everybody that has the same issues as a bad guy. That's not the way it's not the way you handle this, champ. The warped motive behind the endings was exposed in a chilling YouTube and sickening manifesto. He said, I'm not allowed to enjoy life in this world because I've been cast out. No one likes me and no one accepts me. These beautiful blonde girls should be walking with me, not those brutes. I deserve more. Girls aren't sexually attracted to me. There's a major problem with that, and it's a problem I intend to rectify. And, you know, again, this is one of the reasons why I think it's so helpful for young men to find communities, whether it's mine, whether it's any of the other communities that talk about men's issues that are positive. You know, I just did a 2.5-hour video over on betterbachelor.locals.com that I cannot show here, where Piers Morgan talked to Andrew Tate. And Andrew Tate, while he's brash and he maybe doesn't word things beautifully, and he does it for profit. He tries to tell young men how to be successful and get women and make money, and he sells a subscription to that kind of stuff, which I do not support. I don't like anybody selling advice. Like, you either want to help people or you want to make money, but I think making money that way while you're helping people, maybe helping people, it's just never been my jam. I'm not going to hate anybody on doing it, but I don't care for it. But if you watch the interview with Piers Morgan, all Piers did is attack and try to get him in gotchas and try to get him to apologize and admit he was wrong. It was like a struggle session. And that's the problem with so much of media today. It's not, let's dive in deep. Let's really talk about, why do you feel this way? Why do young men think this way? Why are young men having problems? Why are young men angry? Instead of doing that, they just come out and they say, well, they're all problematic, and now we need to look out for this word, and any guys that are talking in this community, we need to blast them out. So as far as I'm concerned, the word is over. But these young men get in this mindset, and there's no one helping them get out of it. There's no one talking to them and say, why do you feel this way? It's one of the reasons why I like Jordan Peterson, who's now, I think, exclusively over on Daily Wire. Again, make sure to jump over to Daily Wire for the razors or the subscription. But they just go down and talk about this a little bit more. And I'm not going to drill down to it because he's a horrible person, and I do not want to highlight anything he's done. But to say that this is the community and this community with using this word and this descriptor, and they're all poisonous and dangerous, and that's like the word toxic masculinity. That you can say, well, you're a man and you're masculine, so you're toxic. Like they try to tie all these words together. And you know what? Instead of fighting against it, I'm just going to start using other words. I mean, you can't really pick a better word than masculine, but I'll start saying stoic. I'm not going to let them castigate and demonize a very large, 30% of young men today are single and have not been with a woman. And now you're going to start calling 30% of all men that you could use the incelibate or the incel word or involuntary celibate word for, and you're going to say that all of them fall into this category? No. Just no way. No way. So I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think down below. Think of some better words or something, but as far as I'm concerned, I'm retiring this word. I'm not going to use it anymore. I'll think of something else, but we can't let the media paint us into a corner and make all young men that are not having any success with women the bad guys. It's just not healthy.